Let's take a look at the chase rules in Call of Cthulhu. Part 1. Establishing the chase. First off, every character makes a speed roll. The speed roll determines the performance of that character during the chase. If they're running, this is a constitution roll, and if they're driving, it's a drive auto roll. With an extreme success, they increase their movement rate by 1. They're a little quicker on their feet today. With a regular success, their movement rate remains unchanged, and with a failure, they reduce their movement rate by 1. They're a little off the ball today. Now compare speeds. If the speed of the fleeing character is greater than that of their pursuer, the chase is over. The character has escaped. However, if the pursuer's movement rate is greater than or equal to the person they're chasing, then the chase is on. Part 2. Cut to the chase. The keeper now considers the environment that the chase is taking place in and abstracts it into a sequence of locations. If the chase begins in a hotel bedroom, the first location might be the bedroom, the second one might be the hallway, and then the third might be the stairs. Set down the first few locations and then create more depending on where your chase heads. Next, position your characters. Place the fleeing character 1 or 2 locations ahead of their pursuer. Okay, you're now ready to start chase round number 1. Chase rounds go in dexterity order, just like combat rounds. Each character in the chase has a number of movement actions that they can perform each round of the chase. The slowest character in the chase just gets 1 movement action. Everybody else in the chase compares their movement speed with that of the slowest character. They get 1 movement action plus 1 more movement action for every point by which their movement speed exceeds that of the slowest character. Part 3. Movement. You can spend 1 movement action to move from one location to the next location. Now we're going to spice up your chases with hazards and barriers. Hazards are situated between one location and the next location, and there's something that's going to get in your way. Typical hazards might include climbing over a garden fence, or pushing your way through a crowd of people, or running across a slippery floor. When you try to get from one location to the next location and there's a hazard between the two, you need to make a skill roll of some sort. Now that could be a dex roll, a jump roll, a dodge roll, whatever the GM thinks is appropriate. If you're successful in the skill roll, you've negotiated the hazard, it hasn't slowed you down or caused you any harm, and it just costs you the 1 movement action to move from that one location to the next. Now if they fail the skill roll, it doesn't stop them getting to the next location. This is just going to slow them down and maybe even cause them damage. Roll 1d3, that's the number of additional movement actions it costs them to get from the one location through the hazard to the next location. Also, if the keeper feels it's appropriate, you might want to inflict damage. For guidance on damage, refer to the other forms of damage or vehicular collisions tables. Next comes barriers, something like a locked door. The difference between barriers and hazards just slow you down, barriers totally block your path. Barriers are dealt with in much the same way as hazards. So if it is a locked door, it might require a strength roll to break it down or a locksmith roll to try and pick the lock. The difference being that if you fail, you've spent a movement action, but you don't progress onto the next location. Part 4. Conflict. To resolve physical conflicts, use the combat rules. That's a different video. To grab someone or to hit them, you've got to be in the same location as them, and it costs an additional movement action. During a chase round, a monster or a character can make the same number of attacks that they could in a regular combat round. Anyone that's attacked in a chase round, just like in a regular combat round, gets the option to fight back or to dodge. When will it all end? Okay, when does it end? It ends whenever is appropriate. If it's a wide open streets and there's no one around, the chase could go on for quite a long time. You can see the person you're chasing there in the distance. But if it's like a crowded subway or, crowded store or something, then you could soon lose sight of the thing you're pursuing. So the keeper has to look at the locations and decide when you're far enough away from your pursuer, the chase is over, you've escaped, or, you get caught. That's it for now. I hope this brief introduction to chases was helpful. Please check out the Good Friends of Jackson Elias podcast. See you there.
BlasphemousTomes.com